Hey there, and welcome to Recap Mania. In this episode, we'll be diving into the 2012 movie Bait, where a group of individuals find themselves trapped in a supermarket with a fearsome great white shark on the loose. Join me as I break down their fight for survival in this intense thriller. The movie starts off on a beach as Josh, a hungover lifeguard, is being woken up by his friend Rory after Josh proposed to his sister Tina last night. He woke up Josh by giving his grandfather's hangover remedy. Then he heads out to check the buoy, while Josh meets up with Tina. As Josh and Tina discuss their plans to go to Singapore, they are interrupted when they discover a swimmer has been attacked by a shark. They frantically try to locate Tina's brother Rory before he becomes the next victim. With little time to spare, Josh jumps into a speedboat and heads out into the water, but unfortunately he's unable to save Rory from the shark's deadly grip. 12 months later, we find that a disillusioned Josh never leaves for Singapore with Tina. As he heads for work at a supermarket, he notices a flock of erratic birds flying away. Meanwhile, a pair of dodgy-looking men named Doyle and Kirby stalk the supermarket with evil intentions. Walking into the supermarket, he breezes past another store hand named Naomi, as he avoids their boss, Jessup. Inside the store, a pretty thief named Jamie steals items from the store. Down in the parking garage, a couple named Kyle and Heather make out in their car with Heather's dog Bully in the back. Upstairs, Jamie runs from a security guard. She finds her boyfriend Ryan in the back room and gives him some of the things she stole. Unfortunately, they're found by Ryan's boss Jessup, who promptly fires Ryan for Jamie's pilfering before calling the cops on her. Elsewhere, Josh runs into Tina at the store. Turns out she just returned from Singapore with her new boyfriend Steven. Even worse, Jessup makes him look bad in front of the pair. Moments later, the police arrive. Turns out the cop is Todd, Jamie's dad. Back in the garage, Doyle and Kirby finalize their plans to rob the store's safe. Before he heads in, Doyle informs Kirby that after this job, he never wants to see his face again. Meanwhile, Todd tells his daughter Jamie that he's tired of her shenanigans. He tells her she's too good for this, but she doesn't seem to learn. This time, however, he's gonna lock her up in jail. What would her late mother think of her behavior? As they argue, Todd notices an armed Doyle walking into the store, so he decides to follow him. Doyle heads straight to Jessup's office and forces him to give him everything in the safe. Unfortunately, the safe is empty. Doyle forces Jessup to take him to where the money is, but this leads to a standoff as Todd tries to stop him. Kirby appears out of nowhere and takes a hostage. Back in the parking lot, Ryan releases Jamie and blames her for his job being lost. Jamie refuses to take the blame and walks away, determined to make things right for Ryan. Meanwhile, Ryan is left feeling defeated and heads to his van feeling completely exhausted. Inside the store, Ryan notices the taps are acting weird before he hears a gunshot. Kirby has just deleted his hostage before taking Tina as his next one. Before anything further can happen, the entire town is stunned by a freak tsunami that hits its shores. And the end of a seismic event, many people die as the store is mostly submerged underwater. In the next scene, Josh and some other survivors climb onto the store shelves. However, Josh and Todd are injured. Jamie worries about Ryan, but Doyle tells her that he must be dead. Josh also finds Kirby's body and believes he must be dead, while Jessup rescues a stranger from the waters. Funnily enough, back in the parking lot, Kyle and Heather seem to have survived, although they are stuck in the car. Thankfully, Ryan also survived the tsunami. He decides to escape from his van in search of survivors. In the next scene, the group tends to Josh's wounds while still being wary of Doyle. Realizing that they can't wait for any rescuers, Josh decides to stay back with Todd while the others look for ways to get help. Doyle volunteers to help, but Todd refuses to allow him. Someone else apart from this criminal can go. However, that seems to be the least of their problems, as both the people in the garage and those in the store begin to notice strange movements in the water. Before Josh can get people out of the water, a shark deletes one of the survivors. As they look for the shark, it knocks Naomi into the water, but fortunately they're able to save her before it gets her. Now they're gonna have to survive this 12-foot-long great white shark. Downstairs, Ryan comes across Kyle and Heather as he looks for a way out. Moments later, they're shocked to find another great white down there. Upstairs, as the group panics and bickers, the shark stalks them right before a tremor exposes a live wire. Now they have to fear electrocution. To prevent this, Josh volunteers to shut off the power, Fortunately, Steven comes up with an idea. Meanwhile, the shark downstairs begins to attack the couple in the car. Back in the store, Steven is fitted into a makeshift metal suit as he tells Josh that Tina is still in love with him. After imploring him to survive, Tina and the rest watch as he tries to wade over to the storeroom to switch off the power. Still connected to his air tube, Steven finds he can't get to the switch, so he disconnects himself before switching off the power. Unfortunately, he drowns in his valor. In the next scene, Jamie consoles a distraught Tina by telling her about her dead mother and shares her regret for abandoning her mother just before she died. Meanwhile, Doyle shares his regret for the hostage's death, while Josh comes to realize that they may be able to escape from the air vent. Downstairs, Ryan distracts the shark while Kyle and Heather escape from their car. Unfortunately, they lose their dog Bully. Meanwhile, the group upstairs try to hoist Jessup into the air vent with a rope, but following a shower of crabs from the air vent, Jessup is chomped through by the great white. All hope seems to be lost. Following these events, Heather blames Kyle for Bully's death while Ryan tries to shimmy away on an overhead pipe. Unfortunately, he falls into the water, and as the couple try to save him, Kyle falls into the water and is eaten by the shark. Upstairs, Doyle suggests that they attack the shark. The stranger in the group menacingly points out how ridiculous this idea is, and it appears that Doyle might know him. Nonetheless, Doyle volunteers to get a hook for this mission, but Jamie refuses to let her injured father risk his life. The shark goes after her, but she's able to fight it off with a meat cleaver before getting the hook and some bait before returning to the group. As they prepare for the showdown with the shark, Doyle advises Josh to make up with Tina. As a result, Josh confesses that he blames himself for Rory's death and apologizes for letting their relationship fall apart. Following this, they try to catch the shark, but it ignores their bait. Suddenly, the stranger decides it needs live bait, so he takes Naomi as a hostage. This move reveals that he's Kirby, Doyle's deranged accomplice. The others try to calm him down, but he throws Naomi into the water. However, Doyle impales him and throws him to the shark while Naomi is rescued. This works, and the shark is hooked to a shelf. Meanwhile, just as Heather gives up hope, Bully turns up alive. Encouraged, Ryan hits the overhead pipes, hoping someone would help them. Realizing it's Ryan, Jamie heads to save him. Todd begs Josh to follow her, and as he does, Tina gives him a kiss goodbye. The pair head down to the car park where they narrowly escape the shark by climbing into Todd's car. Heroically, Josh gets Todd's shotgun from inside before slaying the great white with one powerful round. One down, one to go. Upstairs, the others can't find an escape route, so Doyle decides to electrocute the shark using a car battery. As Josh and the others return upstairs, Doyle tells him to get out of the water. However, another tremor damages the building while the shark breaks free. As it tries to get to Josh, he shoots it with a stun gun right before Doyle electrocutes it. At last, they did it. In the final scene, the group escapes from the store, only to discover that their world has been changed forever. As they look at their ruined town, they realize all they can do is start over. That's if the sharks don't get them first. So with that, this movie recap episode has come to an end. Let us know if you are intrigued to watch the movie after seeing our recap in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more recaps. Till then, goodbye.